If we talk about which team was the most disappointed with their performance last season, perhaps the Nuggets have the most to say. As a championship contending team with the league's top player Jokic, not only did they fail to strengthen their lineup at all after the opening of the free agency market, but they also lost Pope, one of the starting five. At present, the Nuggets are in great need of players on the guard line. Under such circumstances, the Nuggets have set their sights on Westbrook. According to the news, the Nuggets are very interested in Westbrook and they hope to get Westbrook through operations. And surprisingly, most of the Nuggets' interest in Westbrook comes from their leader Jokic. Jokic really wants to partner with this former MVP player and is fully promoting this trade behind the scenes. So, what is the fundamental reason why Jokic wants Westbrook? What can Westbrook bring to this team? In fact, before the news broke out, no one should have linked Jokic and Westbrook together. After all, the main reason why Jokic lost the series against the Timberwolves this year was that the three-pointers passed to his teammates couldn't go in. A combined 8 out of 33 shots in the Game 7, equivalent to a 24% shooting percentage, couldn't defeat any opponent. The guard partnering with Jokic had better have good shooting skills. And we all know what happened in the Clippers series. This year, Westbrook had the worst shooting percentage of his career, with a three-point shooting percentage dropping to 23.6% and averaging only 0.7 three-pointers made per game. From the perspective of shooting, the two don't seem to be that compatible, especially when Pope left, causing the team's outside shooting to further deteriorate. However, aside from Westbrook's shooting problem, it's actually understandable why Jokic wants Westbrook. Westbrook still has many things that the Nuggets badly need. First of all, by getting Westbrook, the Nuggets can acquire an experienced backup point guard. Last season, during the time when Jokic was resting, most of the time, the team's point guard position was taken by Reggie. This period often became the time when the Nuggets lost points. The advantage established by the starting five was easily eroded during the transition period. In order not to be blown out during the transition period, head coach Malone had no choice but to increase the playing time of the starters. This led the situation to another direction, taking the Game 7 against the Timberwolves as an example. When the Nuggets starters were energetic, the score was far ahead. But as the game wore on, the core players of the Nuggets were completely exhausted in the second half, and eventually lost the game regretfully and missed the chance to defend the title. Therefore, whether the Nuggets starters extend their playing time or not, it's a dead end. The reason lies in that the substitutes are not strong enough and there is a lack of a real engine. From this perspective, although Westbrook is not qualified as a spacing point, he has the experience of leading the team as an MVP after all. Throughout his career, he has always been a very good initiator of offense. Even at this age, he can still hold the ball a lot to create opportunities for his teammates. His ability to compress and tier the defense line is still there. Last season with the Clippers, he often led the substitutes to turn the transition period into the time when the Clippers gained points. So when Westbrook comes to the Nuggets, during the time when Jokic is not on the court, based on the Nuggets' rotation habits, it is highly likely that Gordon will play as the small ball center, and randomly keep either Murray or Porter on the court, along with Westbrook and other substitutes. This lineup is likely to have the other three players standing well spaced on the three-point line, and Westbrook and Gordon constantly play pick and rolls. Both have mediocre shooting but outstanding athleticism, and they have obvious advantages against some weaker teams. This also reduces Jokic's wear and tear in the regular season to a certain extent. Therefore, the first reason why Jokic wants Westbrook is for the consideration of strengthening the bench strength. Moreover, Westbrook is already a 35-year-old veteran on a minimum salary contract. In the past few seasons, he has also learned to make sacrifices. There will naturally be no obstacles for Westbrook to lead the substitutes. At the same time, thinking from another perspective, from the management's point of view, Westbrook's contract this season is only $4 million. If the Nuggets trade for him to play as a substitute, even if the effect is not so good, they won't lose much. This kind of operation of exchanging a small cost for a player belongs to the type of a winning is a huge gain, losing is not a big loss, which is very in line with the cautious spending Nuggets management. The second reason for hoping to acquire Westbrook is considering Jokic's strong compatibility. Without involving emotional factors, Jokic on the offensive end might be the superstar in this world who is the least picky about teammates. A few years ago, he even led a group of teammates who couldn't play on other teams into the playoffs. And with slightly more suitable teammates, he can lead a team capable of competing for the championship. The fundamental reason is that there have always been multiple ways to initiate offense around him, and his own system has quite a lot of playable offenses. And many of these initiation methods are compatible with Westbrook's playing style. Here are three main ones. The first is the common low post initiation. Jokic will ask for the ball in the low post like a traditional interior player, while teammates clear out to the three-point line. Jokic uses his strong offensive ability to score alone or assist teammates in shooting three-pointers. In this offensive initiation method, because Gordon is not accurate in three-pointers, he has always been in the ghost area ready to receive passes from Jokic. How difficult the connection between Jokic and Gordon is, I believe Lakers fans know better than me. Although Westbrook doesn't have Gordon's height and finishing ability under the basket, he is, after all, a guard known for his powerful physique. His wandering and cutting in the ghost area are actually quite threatening. At the same time, compared to Gordon, his ball handling ability is also better. When Jokic is in the low post, Westbrook can learn from Gordon and transform his playing style to mainly cutting and score by off-ball methods. The second way Jokic initiates offense is through pick-and-roll plays. As the best center at playing pick-and-rolls in the current era, he can not only initiate offense as a regular screener, such as the common pick-and-roll between Jokic and Murray to develop offense, but also act as the picker himself, and play reverse pick-and-rolls with the power forward Gordon, or even with the guards. Both of these pick-and-roll methods are suitable for Westbrook. The first one goes without saying. Westbrook has been playing 1-5 pick-and-rolls throughout his career, and his pick-and-roll offense with Jokic is very powerful. Last season, it could be seen that the 35-year-old Westbrook could still outperform the vast majority of guards in the league in terms of athleticism and impact. What he mainly lacks is the final finishing touch, while Jokic happens to be the player with the strongest close-range ability in the NBA at present. So Westbrook only needs to break through the defense and then pass the ball to Jokic for the finish, and they can execute very efficient pick-and-roll offense. As for the second reverse pick-and-roll, usually this tactic is aimed at the opponent's switching defense. The reverse pick-and-roll between Jokic and Westbrook can allow Jokic to face the opponent's guards in some rounds and then easily overpower them. Of course, since there are more strategies to counter reverse pick-and-rolls, this move is not as adaptable as the first offensive method, and the number of rounds it might appear could be relatively small and can be used as a surprise tactic. The last way Jokic initiates offense is through the high post organization tactic. This is a survival-level skill in Jokic's career. Relying on this set of organizational skills centered around handoffs, Jokic has changed the team-building model of the Nuggets. The Nuggets can initiate offense without a point guard. The high post cooperation between Jokic and Westbrook may roughly have the following patterns. The first one is Jokic holding the ball at the high post, and Westbrook running without the ball and cutting inside the three-point line. The ball arrives when the person arrives, and 2 points are scored. The second one is the high post handoff between Jokic and Westbrook, causing a switch defense. Westbrook uses his speed to break through the opponent's big man. And during this process, he can pass the ball to the teammates on the outside or pass it back to Jokic to handle the ball. Except for not having the exquisite handoff shooting skills like Murray and Porter, Westbrook's threat of driving to the basket is no weaker than these two. Therefore, the Nuggets can fully utilize the cooperation between Jokic and Westbrook. From the perspective of compatibility mentioned above, the Nuggets can try to bind the playing time of Jokic and Westbrook. On the one hand, having a major organizing core present can prevent Westbrook from playing chaotically. On the one hand, it can also maximize Westbrook's ability and bring the advantages of Westbrook's athleticism and breakthrough ability to the extreme. To sum up in one sentence, because of Jokic's strong compatibility, when trading for Westbrook, the shooting factor can be ignored, and only his advantages need to be considered. Gordon is the best proof of this. Coincidentally, Westbrook's attributes as an engine on the bench, his athleticism advantage, and veteran experience are all needed by the Nuggets. The third reason why the Nuggets want to acquire Westbrook is that they value his counterattack ability. In the Nuggets games, playing fast on defensive counterattacks is a very important aspect. They like to launch counterattacks immediately after defending against the opponent in one round. Even Jokic, a big center, often gets the ball and drives the transition offense in a one-man show, and quarterback long passes are countless. Although Westbrook's offensive ability in positional battles has declined significantly, his ability to attack the rim in counterattacks still exists. Last season, when he led the Clippers' substitutes, he basically tried to play as fast as possible. This point is very consistent with the Nuggets' fast-paced offensive strategy. Just imagine, after Jokic grabs the rebound, Westbrook has already used his athletic ability to reach the other half of the court. Isn't it a very attractive scene? In addition, Westbrook demonstrated unexpectedly good individual defense ability in this year's playoffs. Whether he was defending against a small, quick and agile guard like Irving, or against a forward with abnormal physical confrontation like Doncic, he delivered decent defensive performances. From the perspective of specific defense, Westbrook is the kind of guard who exerts strong pressure on the ball. At the same time, he is physically strong, decisive in making moves, and has first-class ability to create turnovers. He is very suitable for the role of leading the defense. After Pope left the team for the Nuggets, the role of leading the defense on the outside is likely to fall on Bron's shoulders. Thus, a new leading defender will be needed in the substitute connection period, and Westbrook can fully handle this responsibility. At the same time, don't forget that Westbrook played as the small ball center position for a period of time in the regular season last season. His performance against some lightweight centers was impressive. This kind of positional flexibility is very suitable for helping Jokic, who has a relatively slow foot speed, to switch and provide supplementary defense. Moreover, Westbrook has maintained an excellent rebounding ability throughout his career, especially on the offensive rebounds. This is extremely important for the Nuggets, who have average rebounding ability and often lack vitality in the connection period. Therefore, considering from the above aspects, acquiring Westbrook is not a difficult decision to make. Thanks to Jokic, I think Westbrook even has the opportunity to deliver his best performance in recent years. If he can get rid of the minimum salary status with the help of Jokic, it should not be surprising at all. He only has the strength of a starter. It might still be rather difficult to expect him to bring about major changes to the Nuggets. Under Jokic's system, Westbrook will be a very positive player. For the Nuggets, if they can get such a player for $4 million, it is definitely a huge bargain.